Hello and welcome to the Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 10 for September 4th, 2012. Welcome back, guys. We had a wonderful episode last week where Burns brought us some awesome presents from Everfree Northwest, so I'd like to thank him again quickly because I was looking through that episode recently and it was really awesome of him to do that. But I guess before we start, we should just kind of jump in. So my name is Rainbow Plasma and today I'm joined by...
Burndo1, and I am the special guest coordinator.
I'm FutterGuy317, and I coordinate all the art.
And I'm Pinky Dash, and I do the questions.
Alright, so we promised you a couple of weeks ago we'd have a certain special guest on our podcast, and we finally have him here. We've grasped him and we've tied him down, and we finally got him here. So I'd like everyone to welcome the one and only Mr. Veggie55.
Hello, I'm seemingly special.
Yay!
All the way from Ireland.
It's so far to travel, I think.
So, Veggie55, the one question that we always ask of everybody who comes on the show, just in case someone doesn't know who you are you and what do you do?
I'm a guy who got bored in May 2011 and decided to draw a picture of Rainbow Dash, which eventually led to more pictures of Rainbow Dash and eventually others, and then eventually comic strips, which eventually got hosted on a certain website called Equestria Daily, which led to people following me to my website, which led to me doing tons of work and using up all my summer time, but in a good way. And now to here, where I just took a hiatus for school and such. And I make music, but people don't really know about that. Oh well.
Right. So I think people will definitely know you for your comics. I think that's currently what you're most famous for.
That's usually what they say.
I would, yeah. That's how I knew you.
Yeah. It's never for my dress sense, anyway.
So recently on your DeviantArt, you did post a little comic about how you're going to be taking a short little hiatus, and some people took that as like you're leaving forever. Yeah. But like, what exactly is that, or why are you choosing to take a break?
The reason I'm doing it is because, well, since some of you are Irish, you won't understand this, and neither will 90% of the world, but when you turn 17 or 18 in Ireland, you go into this thing called sixth year, which is your final school year before college, and you do this massive state exam for about 3 weeks in June, which is like the equivalent to, say, the GCSEs in England, and I don't know what you do in America, but something in America.
We just get everything for free, that's why.
Okay, but
That's true.
yeah, that comes up at the end of the year, and I've been I started the course last year, and basically it's just going over it and constant study, and it's loads of fun, and it basically chokes up all my free time until the weekends where I get a few hours like now. And so for that reason, I've kind of just confined myself to working on comics every now and again, like primarily midterm break or Christmas or Easter or whatnot. I'm not actually leaving.
Wait, did you say a 3-week exam?
Yeah, it's approximately 3 weeks.
Wow.
Well, like,
way harder than you think after
it's not exactly like, it's not one exam that lasts 3 weeks. It's like, it's about, about 100 exams. You don't do all of them, like, it's your subjects you picked, basically. But it lasts over a span of 3 weeks. Not including weekends,
Wow.
but
Yeah, that's crazy.
it sucks.
It is.
But at least I got to go to college after.
Some people are confused about this little hiatus you took because a lot of them, as you were telling us, they all think that you're just leaving permanently. But that's not the case, right?
No, it really isn't. I think a lot of that is language barriers, because I got people, like, even people from England ask me what the hell a hiatus was. I should have probably used, like, break or something, but...
Really? People don't know what a hiatus is?
Yeah.
It's a break.
One fella thought it was like, oh god, what did he say? He thought it was like some sort of trip or something, I don't know. Something like that. But no, it doesn't mean I'm leaving, it just means it's a really long, undecided length break. That's pretty much it.
Yes.
Forced.
Fair enough.
Sadly.
Oh.
Right. Blame the Board of Education there, if you want.
Well, other than comics, you said you actually do something musical. I had no idea that you were also a musician.
Yeah, well, primarily in my life, off the internet, I consider myself a musician. I enjoy playing music and listening to music and composing and just all that. it's really my niche compared to art.
Huh.
Which,
What do you play? Like, what instruments?
the first thing I learned was piano when I was 5, and I eventually got fed up with exams and stopped doing them, but I still play piano. My favourite is the guitar, which I've been playing since I was 11. I also play the bass guitar, and I play the drums.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
And I sing every now and again, but I don't like singing.
What is it with Irish people and guitars? The Irish person I knew before played the guitar as well.
Yeah?
It's quite
I
a few.
don't well, it was,
Just the lyrical people.
You definitely have
yeah.
quite the charismatic voice. I'd for one like love.
Oh,
it.
God, I get this off everyone. Well, I've sounded like this since I was 11, so I'm kind of used to it by now. I used to have a really high voice before then. I swear.
You also said you just did a recording with a friend on YouTube.
Yep, I
as well,
spent
didn't you?
the last 2 weeks of my summer when I got back from Berlin working on this. I don't actually remember what it's for. Apparently, it's some big collaboration thing, I think, or a remix competition or something. But yeah, his name's Taylor or Ty Sullivan. I can't pronounce his name, but he used to be called Applejack the Engineer. But if he hears me say that, he'll kill me. So that's not his name. But yeah, it's a piece.
I think it's Silin, something like that.
It's beyond me. Let's just leave it at that.
It doesn't really translate well in Irish. All right.
I don't really remember what it was called, but it's something about Trixie, and it's an orchestral rock piece, and it sounds really good so far, and I'm just waiting for it to upload it, sorry, which should be in a few hours, I'd say, when I'm sound asleep.
What was his YouTube channel again?
Well, his YouTube channel is called Applejack the Engineer, but he hates being called that now. But that's still the name of his channel. You can also find it by typing Veggie55 into the search bar, but just throwing that in there.
Yeah, I'm quite the avid music follower.
I'm gonna have to go check that out because I'm sick of all my pony music.
Have you never heard of it before, Pinky Dash? No,
No,
he's quite good. He made something about 4 months ago that got quite popular,
Need it.
and that was when he did kind of like an orchestral thing
Yeah,
off of
that was the first thing I
glaze
did
or
with
wooden
him.
toasters.
No,
Music.
I haven't heard of it before.
But yeah, definitely he's well known.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll have to go check those out.
And I basically did the guitar tracks for
You like-
his songs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun.
He also does very very good orchestral mixes and
Yeah.
things.
Oh, he's really good.
Variety, but yeah.
He doesn't have faith in himself, but he's really good, and I think he knows it by now.
Hopefully.
He is quite popular, so yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's a funny guy.
So let's move on. Let's move on to your art, because I think a lot of people here are going to be knowing you for your comics and some of your other art pieces. So I feel like that might be the majority of what we talk about today. So I think kind of the first thing that we should go over is just there's one comic in particular. I know you know exactly which one I'm talking about,
I think I
and
do.
it is the one that probably boosted you up a huge amount. Is there any kind of what's your thoughts about the comic? It's called Number One Fan,
Yeah.
and I know you have some stories about that one. So do you have anything about that one in particular? That
Not really, no. I mean, it's probably the thing I spent the longest working on. I remember, oh god, it was a year ago now, wasn't it?
Almost, yeah.
I remember I was uploading it. It was like a Wednesday night or something before school, and it was really late, and I was fed up with something at home. I don't know what it was now, but I decided I wasn't going to upload till Thursday morning. But I went with Wednesday evening, and by Thursday morning it had made the front page and had lots of hits, and I was really confused.
No, it's like right now it has 143,537 views.
That's crazy.
6,000 favorites.
That's more than I've seen on almost anything.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the most I've ever seen on any of my stuff. I mean, when I first joined that website, I was happy when I got like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm popular. But yeah, that.
I think this was your first comic you uploaded to DeviantArt, or
No, the first one I
No.
uploaded was oh god, what was it called? Something Never Fly, something to do with flying. I'll Never Fly, I think is what it was called. I made it.
Yeah, it was something to do with Scootaloo, wasn't it?
Yeah, derpy. And
Mm.
it was really just a test thing, and that kind of got the whole thing going.
And look where you've gone to from there.
Yeah.
It's Your Life, was that the name of the comic?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with Scootaloo, and she talks about Rainbow Dash.
yeah.
That's basically describing every single Scootaloo
Ever.
comic
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, excuse me.
Ross focusing on
No,
school.
it's no, the first comic that you have uploaded here in your gallery is like on your little timeline is like It's Your Life, and that's where Scoodloo walks up to, I do not know which character
That was
is,
the
though.
filly
So
from
secret background
the
character.
#1 fan. Well, it was meant to be.
Ah.
I wasn't overly thrilled with that one, to be honest. It didn't come out as good as I'd hoped, but I uploaded it nonetheless. It was alright.
Do you have any ones in particular that stand out to you? Like, is there any comics that you loved making or you loved the premise of? Or...
I love doing the Soarin' Spitfire ones, or the Gyra ones. Oh, Christ.
Gyra. Oh god, I love Gyra.
Gyra.
That's amazing.
That was me lying in bed, and I was just there. What if Lyra was called a guy? What would you call Gyra? And that was the premise of that one.
Gyra is one of my favorites.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
oh God, Gyra. And I miss drawing Gyra.
So you've had inspiration for a lot of things like Gyra just from sitting in bed and thinking about stuff.
That's
like is
where
that how most of
90%
your
of
ideas come
everything
about? Is
comes
it just
from,
random?
to be honest. It's lying in bed and like, I need to draw something, but I have no idea what, and I wouldn't allow myself to go to sleep until I had an idea. Which isn't how you should do it, but that's how I did it.
As a completely non-creative person, I envy you.
So, alright, now just to get this straight, because apparently I'm confused. The first comic you uploaded was #1 fan?
No, you're.
Or it was
No.
It's where like
All right, I know exactly which one you did because you put it in your journal. I
The
remember you put it in
DeviantArt
your journal
timeline
saying
is a
this
bit
what started it
wonky.
this way.
Right?
And it was called I'll Never Fly is what it was called. It was a very poorly drawn 3-panel comic. That was Scoot's head is way too big in it. But that's what I remember of it. And Derpy has no cutie mark in it, and they have no shadows, and everything was wobbly. And yeah, that was the first one. Back in.
Okay, because like I was looking at the dates and I was getting confused.
Yeah, no, DeviantArt
Because,
just messed up. Just
Something that like I noticed throughout like your comics, like as you make them, is all of your lines get a lot smoother, and then in your beginning comics, like the first comics that you started submitting,
yeah.
the ends of ears and strokes and things like that have rounded edges, but then as you started making more comics, you started erasing the tips to make them sharp and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it was just kind of cool to see that kind of timeline of how you evolved making your comics.
And at least something useful came of it. Sitting here.
Well, you have a very unique way of making comics. I mean, before you made a video.
Yeah.
What about a month ago was it? You made a video describing how exactly you make your comics, and it's in GIMP using just a lot of small straight lines.
Yeah.
And it's something new that I've never seen before. And like, how did that come about? How did you?
Well, if I'm
first come
completely
up with-
honest, it's because I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing when I launch GIMP. Like, I've had the software for nearly 3 years now, and I honestly don't know how to use half of it. That was just something I used when I started drawing. When I started drawing the Spyro art when I first joined that site. It's just a continuation of what I used to do back then. And
I know some of your dragon art's really cute. Like you have a toothless piece.
Toothless.
That's adorable.
Oh my gosh.
so
Yeah.
old. But yeah, it's like I never really I used to try follow tutorials on like using the the lines and stuff, like vectors, and I just I could never follow it. If I'm just honest, it was.
No, it's really funny though that you mention it because we're all vector artists, and that's how we started with art, is working with paths.
I
and
know you're
working
going to
with
show me
vectors.
up here. But, yeah, I honestly.
No, we're not going to show you up. I just like to point out the fact that in some ways you have definitely made our lives difficult because and that's only because what you did here was you made them so good looking. You made them look like vectors, but using a non-vector program. So what we'd end up having is we'd have people submitting to our group, basically saying, this is a vector, and really it's not. It's made the same way that you
I
make
think
it.
we've actually had people submit.
Yeah, I think some of mine are still sitting in the Vector Club on DeviantArt.
There's a compliment in there somewhere about how good you made it. There's a compliment somewhere in there.
Yes.
You just need to
Words
go
on
dig
our
for
strong
it.
suit.
It's actually like I would find myself like staring at your comics, like how does he make his lines? How does
If
he
you
make
look
them
close
so
enough,
straight?
you'll see they really aren't that straight.
Yeah, you can see the little like kind of kinks when you hold the shift and
Yeah.
click.
They're not
But
perfect,
since it's
but
a rounded
damn
end and
close
brush,
to me.
like it's kind of hard to tell.
move it far away. It looks okay.
Yeah, just zoom out a bit, and
Yeah.
then it looks fantastic.
You just can't read it.
Just don't look at it close.
Just don't full screen it, whatever you do.
Now that brings in what I was talking about though, about like the little rounded strokes. Like I'm looking at number one fan and like in the ears and then in the eyes and like eyelashes and stuff. You can see that it's like the round-ended brush tip, you know.
Yeah, that was before I used that the Eclipse tool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how I came by that, to be honest. But I think it was on the mouse jam that I was trying to fix it, you know, where you kind of mash all the buttons on your keyboard. And I found that Shift adds extras and Control takes them away. And I was like, I could probably do something with this if I tried. And I ignored it for about 2 months and then tried it again. But it saves a lot of time. Oh, God.
And so you use a mouse, right? It's not a
Yeah, it's an adorable little Mini Cooper mouse that is covered in dirt at the moment, and the middle wheel is broken, so I need to replace it.
So all of your art starts as a sketch then, and then you bring it into to GIMP basically.
A nice little scanner. Yeah.
And we noticed that you have quite a number of different sketches, which are really, really well done on your DeviantArt.
I haven't really added. I think I've only added like 2 of them. I really should have uploaded the rest of it.
Yeah.
I might get around to it someday. It could be great filler.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It's interesting because people don't know when they see that, you know, as vector artists, we aren't necessarily the best at sketching. You know, that's part of the reason why we became vector artists, because, well, we're not great at we're not artistically inclined. But obviously people don't know that a lot of these things are made from sketches. And I think what people come to your comics for is the fact that they look so much like the show. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. So how did you, is it just all practice sketching? Like, how long were you sketching before you started making the comics?
Well, I've kind of, like, I'll be completely honest, I am not very artistically minded at all. In fact, a lot of times I hate art so much. But I enjoy drawing. Like, I don't draw to improve or to like learn anatomy or whatnot. I just draw for the sake of drawing, and that's pretty much all that is. And it just gradually looked better. Like, I've been drawing since I was about 5, I'd say. And I was pretty much just drawing anything in the house I could find.
Well,
Nice.
for drawing for the sake of drawing, you're pretty darn good at drawing.
Like what he said.
That one
still
piece
hate drawing people,
or there's one piece in your DeviantArt gallery. Get the buck down from there. And
Yes.
like as far as sketches go, it's really good. Like shading's done really well.
That was made when I should have been
Quality.
studying Macbeth.
And all the best things always made when you're meant to be studying for something or doing something else.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, doing anything else that's probably more productive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like anatomy in your comics is always usually spot on. I mean, even in one of your comics, you mentioned that Scootaloo's head was too large, so you're still quite like really aware of things that are wrong or right.
Well, you see, most artists then would go in and try to fix it. I just kind of ignore it. It's like, oh, I made a mistake. Oh well, can't do much about that now. I don't really have the will to go back and fix stuff. Unlike a proper artist would, they strive for success.
You'd be surprised. It's hard once you put down something to pick it back up again and go, I have to make this little change. It's
Especially when
like,
people
no,
view
you
it
know,
on
that's
the
artistic
internet.
expression. We get that a
spending
lot,
too much time
actually,
looking
so.
at one thing, you just don't want to look at it ever again.
Yeah. Oh, I get that all the time. Anything I upload, to be honest.
How long did the average comic take you to make?
When I first started, it was usually 2 to 3 days, I suppose. But I was like only working on it maybe about 2 hours or so in the day. But nowadays it'd take... Oh god, how long did the last one take? I'd say it'd take about 7 or 8 hours to do one.
Wow.
Oh,
Usually. That's because like I have no idea what I'm doing. There's probably quicker ways to do it.
Do you just sit there and just go till it's finished, or do you take it in like breaks and sections?
Oh god, no. Like usually what it is, it's I sit down the first time and I make sure I have everything sketched. Like, well, not everything, no expressions or anything, but like just the basic bodies and stuff, where everything's going to go. And then the next session I put on expressions and stuff. Next one I'd line certain bits, and then eventually I'd finish it.
Oh, sweet. Now,
It's just getting started. That sucks.
yeah, that's looking for the motivation to get
So you're
going.
looking at a blank page and like, I
Now,
don't...
on your expressions, they are amazing. They're the one thing
Yes.
They're the one thing
Yeah,
I love you for. I love your expressions. They look so close to the show, but yet they have their own sort of style, sort of thing. How do you do that? How do you come up with how you get their faces to look?
If I knew, I'd tell you. Well, like a lot of it just comes from like watching the show and just looking at how they did it and just kind of trying to mimic it, I suppose. But I really don't know.
Yeah. I've tried doing it in Vector. It just doesn't work.
So do you usually end up
Yeah.
looking at like screenshots from the show and expressions and then try to use those in comics?
Well, usually everything just kind of starts with you leave the eyes open and you leave an open mouth, and then you're like, okay, what can I do to not make these all exactly the same? So then you just add an eyelash or somewhere or droop or like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
Right, so they're expressionless in the sketches, and then
Yeah,
kind of add
and
that
you,
in.
like you kind of add them when you've finished up everything else.
So
so
if you
leave
were
them
to
last.
upload the sketches, some of them would look quite
Without
weird.
faces.
Well, the ones I uploaded, I cleaned up first. They're actually traced sketches because I didn't want to see all the kind of mistakes in the other ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So those are like the version 2s of your actual
Yeah,
sketches.
pretty much. It's like doing a line art of a traditional sketch, I suppose.
Yeah, because I know in your video, your like how-to video, you changed the expression on Scootaloo's
Oh, yeah.
face. So
Because I drew it like there was a space of about 5 months, I'd say, between the video and the picture being drawn.
yeah.
And my opinion just changed, I suppose.
I can see where you're coming from when you say you look at the show for facial expressions. I'm looking at this one now. Role Model is the comic with Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo, and the one where Rainbow Dash is looking down at the empty mug, it sort of looks like it would be in the show. And then further down, you
Yeah.
modify it. You change it up slightly.
Yeah, it's like little variations.
On your comics, when you make things like the background, do you always make the backgrounds from scratch, or do you borrow scenes from the show?
If there's buildings and such in it, they're usually taken straight from the show because I have no inspiration with backgrounds. But if you look at the majority of them, it's just the circle tool. I usually make a bit of ground at the bottom, 1 or 2 hills in the back, a bush, and then more hills in the back, and then a sky. It's an exact same thing for everything usually. It's real lazy. It's like they're the afterthought. It's like I never have them sketched. They're always done directly on the computer when everything else is finished. So it shows how much I care about them.
Well, it's the faces that are the best bit.
Yeah, I think it's a similar thing to the show too, because one of the reasons why I really like the show is the facial expressions, and it's just very interesting how you can get yours looking like they can come from the show, but also I can always tell a Veggie55 expression. I'm not sure what it is about it, but there's just something different
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
like the show, but taken just a little bit too far, and it's awesome. A little bit more than the show.
So on some expressions, I can always pick out, like, oh, that's that scene, or that's that famous little face, or I've seen that vector, but it always has a bit more to it.
Now, when you're sketching out
Yeah.
in the beginning, or like when you're creating your expressions, do you usually have reference material, or will you kind of create that from scratch? And if it looks right,
I kind of look back at what I've done already nowadays.
Yeah.
At first, what really was a kind of big factor was Futurama.
Oh, nice.
The kind of lower eyelid thing they do in the show, where they kind of draw half the eyes, so it looks like they're squinting or whatnot. That was the kind of thing, really.
Cool.
As far as show accurate expressions go, like, you seem to do everything correctly. Like on the little bottom squint where you cut off half the eye, like it's the same color as the character's stroke. It's not like black. Some artists will make that a black line when it's it's the same color as just the outside of their body. So as far as like making the character show accurate, as far as like even things they wear is all show accurate. Like the show uses living things will have strokes and then the backgrounds won't, things like that.
Now you've lost me.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how show accurate the kind of stuff is. It's a really good job you did, because this is the kind of stuff where it fools a lot of people into thinking that it's stuff from the show, and I think that's a really incredible thing you did. Like I imagine you must have taken quite a few references, like
At first,
taking-
totally, yeah.
not screen caps, but just looking at the show itself, just for a bunch of references.
The very first picture I ever did, back in, what was it, May, I think, 2011, was pretty much taken directly from the show. I just kind of worked on it from there, and I don't know,
He just kind of went on.
Just kind of.
Art. No one knows
It's
how
kind of like
Trip
you know
over.
Pixel Kitties. Pixel Kitties, the way she did it is kind of similar to that. She started off like directly referencing the show and then worked her way outwards and developed that quirky style she has now, which is just
Yeah.
brilliant.
Well, like, you make comics through starting out with sketches and just being magically amazing at sketches. And Pixel Kitties actually uses circles. That's her super secret. Is she just makes ponies out of circles. She
No
makes
idea how
that
she does
meme
it.
like a reality.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I've tried that. Didn't work well.
Yeah, it's always fun to hear Pixel Kitties interviews. Like, oh, how do I make ponies? Well, I start with circles, and then I add some more
Draw the rest
circles.
of the pony.
Circles.
It's like add 2 circles and then finish the pony.
When you first started making comics, did you ever expect that you'd become a famous pony artist?
No. You see, the whole thing was, when I started, I said I'd do it for about maybe 2 months and then leave. But then sadly, the number one fan won. Well, not sadly, but unexpectedly.
Became one of the biggest names in the fandom.
Yes.
To my amazement, yeah, it just kind of shot up, and then suddenly loads of people were saying, "Oh, where are the rest of them? Make some more." And I'm like, "Oh crap, what have I got myself into?" Kind of like that, but it was good in the end, though. I had fun, met some nice people, got to screw up conventions because of it. Got to talk with John
really?
DeLonce today, so
That's
that was nice.
that black border you get around your comics as well. That's kind of iconic to you as well. Yeah, I've seen it on a couple others, but I always, whenever I see it come up on anyone else, I think of you.
Oh God, what are they called? Oh, the comic strips.
Panels, frames.
I can't even think of it.
There's some term
It's like
for
the
it.
most popular comic in the world.
Oh.
Oh jeez. Calvin
Calvin and Hobbes?
Calvin
Oh,
Hobbes.
and Hobbes. Yeah, it's based off that. That used the black borders as well. That's all that is. I just wanted to look neat.
I can't remember if they used to play with them, play with the borders. I think like in the books I used to read, they'd have like that iconic black border, and then some of them would have no borders, and like they'd go back and forth or something. I don't really remember.
I like it when comics break the borders.
Was there any other inspiration, like comic inspirations, for you that made you want to go into comics besides Calvin Hobbes?
I'll be honest, I don't really. Well, actually, one, Cyanide and Happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that comic.
I don't read comics at all. I don't look at comic strips or anything, but I remember since I was really young looking up Cyanide and Happiness and the Garfield comic strips online as well, and Calvin and Hobbes. They're the kind of 3 main ones. There'd be some other ones like, say, what was that one? The kind of geeky one. Control Alt Delete, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Cyanide and
I
Happiness is
have
my
a
favorite
favorite-
comic.
I have a favorite Control Alt Delete comic where it's like I don't know the characters; they're random characters. Some chef and someone else, and he's like holding this carrot, and then he's like talks about the carrot or something, and then he's like the lines on the road are yellow, and then his head he stabs the guy in the eye with the carrot, and then his like head bursts into flame. I don't even know, and it's like the most
Yeah.
random concoction of things. But
This is the
your
norm.
comic with a Twilight, or what is it? Never Fear. It has Rainbow Dash and Twilight, and
Oh,
they're
jeez.
standing there, and like Twilight's hair bursts into flame,
Yes.
and then the muffin saves the day. It reminded me of that Control Alt Delete comic.
Sounds like that might have been the inspiration for it, to be honest. Or it could have been really drunk. It could be-
One or the other.
Yeah, same thing.
Looking through your gallery, you have over 250 things in your gallery, which is, I can't even comprehend that.
God.
Yeah.
Seriously.
How are you able? Do you
250.
maintain that, or how do you keep track of all of those comics and things you've uploaded? It's just nuts.
I can't. I'll just say that I can't really at all.
So you,
Well, I mean, I imagine it's hard. We're bringing up comic names here because we've got them on hand, but we
I
should
remember
really
some of the names,
we should
some
really
of
be
them are
linking
familiar.
them to you because it's hard to remember just by title
Yeah,
or
I
something.
remember all the ones you said so far anyway, so we're doing okay.
Nice.
All right, beautiful.
Like we
Well,
have
speaking
a
of
few-
titles, actually, I just
Oh.
wanted to mention something. As an artist, and I'm sure everyone else in here can agree,
Yes.
it is murder trying to come up with a title.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
easy for you, or is it the same
No.
thing?
No.
Those titles are just last seconds slapped on there. And they don't really mean anything, to be honest. Except in that last Gyro one, that was probably the only one I actually put some thought into.
Going to find it now.
And that's
Is
probably,
that the room for one more?
For one more.
it's
Yeah.
probably a bit inappropriate for the podcast.
It's probably really
Who needs pants for a comic?
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's no thought goes into that at all. It's just like anything I do in life. If I finish writing something or like composing something, the title is like the last second decision. You just slap it on there.
They all seem
It
to
works
fit
sometimes.
very well to the to the comics, so I don't know.
You're doing something right, so.
Just inspiration.
It's good luck, I guess.
I'm sorry, I'm giggling to myself here.
It's probably reading one
Yes.
of your comics.
But I'm not going to mention it because I'm not allowed
So-
to. It's not PG rated.
Well,
That one.
you said you had like no aspiration to like become better at art or work
No.
on more art.
No.
Because
Not
like you
at all.
have a piece in your DeviantArt gallery called Commission, or it's a commission, Night of the Pwn 3, and like in that piece you use
Oh,
like
yeah.
shading and stuff like that. and,
Yeah, that was
like,
kind of
color
going back
shading and
to
stuff.
the old Spyro art I used to do. That's going
Mm.
back to that. That's literally the exact same thing I used to do. I don't know why I did that for that. That wasn't even a commission, I don't think. I think that was just a request. I called the commission to feel better about myself. But
I really like this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
I wouldn't be
Can't
opposed to
explain
seeing
that.
more like that.
Well, it'll definitely take less time than comics, because in comics, you have to do everything like 3 or 4 times over again.
Well, in comics you can copy paste stuff.
True. Very
Oh,
true.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Don't tell anyone.
We'll keep our lips shut.
That's-
So while you've kind of been up here, you've obviously had a lot of exposure. But have you had any opportunity to meet any other well-known artists, or have you made some friends there?
Well,
or...
I kind of befriended a lot of the through Skype actually. Like there's a massive Skype group, or well was. It's kind of disbanded and made lots of little micro groups now. But like had like the likes of John Joseco, Pixel Kitties. I don't think Cartoon Line never bothered joining because I don't know, she didn't. But like Tiara Y was in there at one stage. There were kind of loads of kind of recognized. Oh, I hit the mic there. Sorry.
I've done worse.
But yeah, no, I've talked to some of them. But you see, the thing is, despite what people title me as, I'm artists. I can't talk to them. Like musicians, I'm real chill with. They're all, I know what to talk about to musicians. But artists, not trying to badmouth them or anything, but I can't talk to artists at all. I just can't, no matter how hard I try.
Well, you come from the opinion that you're not an artist, but you kind of stumbled
no.
upon it, right?
Just a guy who draws stuff. That's what I'll always call myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough.
I guess
That's fair enough. I'm sure there's situations in every single kind of art piece, whether or not that's music or physical art or something. I'm sure there's some people in music that just said, I'm not really a musician, but I just kind of make music. So
Just a guy who plays.
Mhm.
yeah, so some
I
people
like calling
stumble
myself
into
a
it. Some
musician,
people plan. Yeah.
Well, there's another artist. His name's Garrett Gilchrist, and he kind of considers himself a guy who draws stuff. Listening to some of his interviews, and he just kind of started out just drawing stuff. And one of the concepts that he kind of holds true to is that you can't do something over and over and over again and not become good at it. So he just draws ponies and different things over and over and over again and becomes really good at them. So like you consider yourself a guy who just draws stuff. Well, you're pretty darn good at drawing stuff, and you've made a lot of comics.
Shucks, yeah.
You probably hold a couple
Embarrassingly.
records for people who've made the most pony comics.
And they've made a lot of
That's
people
true.
very happy.
Don't forget Mad Max.
I mean, your comics are really popular for like good reasons.
Yes.
Really?
I mean, you
Not
are
all the
probably
right
one
ones,
of the most popular pony comic
I would say
makers
the most, I would say.
ever.
Shucks.
It's strange, isn't it, though? Because, within this fandom, no matter how high you go, there's always a grounding factor there. There's always... Because everyone who started here, regardless of whether they're a musician or a guy who draws stuff, it's always kind of like, no, I'm just a regular guy. That's the same for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what, all I do is, before ponies, all I used to do was, I'd record, my music and stuff, and I'd play games on Steam with random people, and now my Steam gets bombarded by strangers daily, but, yeah, it's just another thing I took up in my spare time.
Hmm.
That was it, which I sadly don't have anymore, but
Yeah.
Right.
except at the weekends. But I'm usually
Even the little tiny comics are
out.
amazing. The one I'm looking at now, Ditzy
Mhm.
Wanderer. There's only 3 panels and nobody says anything, but it's great.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We have
So
some.
that's usually the goal. You just try to keep it at 3 to check it's less work for me.
We have some favorite comics of ours that we kind of have lined up here, and Ditzy Wanderer is one of those. And like
It was
easily,
made
that's
for
one
my
of my
friends.
favorite comics you've ever done. It's like the most simple. It's just
It was made for the guy who actually got me into it.
Oh, nice.
that's funny.
Oh, really? So who would that be?
His name is Tapani, and he's currently writing to me on Steam, bothering me. But yeah, he's from Finland. He is a madman, and he's from Finland.
The madman from Finland who got you into ponies. Well, we'll have to give him a thank you especially.
Yes.
He already got a nice round of applause and a cheer from Buck a few weeks ago, which he's still relishing over.
How was that, by the way?
Well, I wasn't physically there. I was just by Skype, and I muted
Oh,
my
really?
mic by accident in the last 5 minutes. So I had to hold up signs, like I wrote down paper, what do, and I made them laugh, so I was okay with that.
Are you
Yes.
planning on going to any conventions in the future? I mean, now this was kind of like the first summer of conventions that everybody's kind of looking at and going, okay, well maybe I'll go to them next year. Is there anything in particular you want to go to?
I'll be honest, I'm not really a convention person.
No, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know. I like the idea of it. I don't like a lot of the ideas of it as well.
No,
Like,
no, I'm gonna bite the
understandable.
bullet for you because I know exactly what you're talking about. Because
Like, it's kind
Bernd
of.
and I were chatting about it, and it's about 50% awkward and about 50% awesome.
Yeah, I imagine them all being
so
really awkward.
there's yeah.
Australia, no conventions.
I don't
for me.
know.
I had a great time at Everfree Northwest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, you don't count.
Actually, how'd the documentary go for that? I had to make a comic thing to get that Kickstarter going.
Oh, you mean the
They do it in the end,
BronyCon documentary? I think they're still working
Yeah.
on it. They're still
The Brony
working.
documentary. The Brony documentary actually didn't go to Everfree Northwest. They only went to BronyCon, and they went from BronyCon to Buck.
Yeah,
So-
I heard that. Yeah, I saw them there.
Terra Strong was there at Everfree Northwest, though.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't see any
Representatives.
front documentary cameramen. But I think it's going really well.
I haven't heard anything bad.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm still getting updates. I think I'm the only one who's getting updates by email. So.
No, I'm getting updates by email as well. I donated more than I'm willing to admit.
Well, to be fair, I'm still waiting on this Minecraft documentary that's not coming out. So we'll
It's a
see.
Minecraft
We'll
documentary.
see if either one of those ever gets made. But it's the principle of the thing. So.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, we have a few comics of yours laid out here that are favorites. One of them that is easily one of my favorites. One of the more sappy comics that you have, or
I'm guessing
sad.
it's-
Well, adorable. I don't know how to put it. But it's what is the name of this? It's You're Always Mine, and again, you have a commission for it, and it
Yeah.
has what is it? Ditsy Do at the time, or Derpy with
Yeah.
what is her
Dinky.
kid's name? Dinky Doo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a poem from some fan fiction that your man liked, and he wanted it recreated.
Oh.
Yeah, I had fun doing that. I had fun drawing the bed for some reason. And the last panel, the older version of Dinky from your man the Equestria Prevails was really handy. Who was another. I don't know if he vectors or not, but he's another ridiculously accurate guy. Have you seen his stuff? Like, it's just it's crazy. I don't know how he does it. I feel about him the way you do about me. Basically,
No, Equestria Prevails is the guy who did.
I look at it and I'm like, how does he do that?
What do you want to call
He's
it?
done
He did the one where
so much.
they got all the bat ponies in the bar.
Oh,
He's done some.
oh my
amazing-
goodness!
Oh,
Equestria
yeah.
Prevails. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm a huge fan of Equestria
Yeah,
Prevails.
it's
He has
incredible.
that female night guard OC.
Yeah, he kind of
forget
does
her
lots
name,
of the night
but-
guards. Yeah, it's really
I'll
good.
throw that up on the screen for everyone now. But
Thanks,
Equestria Prevails is again another awesome artist who does really
Yeah.
accurate. I believe those are vectors.
I believe they are, yes.
But he
Yeah,
has
it's
his
a
own
combination of
kinda-
vectors and shading.
He has his
and all
own
that.
twist on him. Like, they look, like you can tell when
Yeah.
it's him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's really good, really good.
Yeah, he's really well known.
Do you do poetry at all, or did you just borrow this poetry as the commission?
I guess that just came from the fan fiction. It's credited in the description.
Because I remember in one little DeviantArt description, you were like, "Doodling is way better than paying attention for Irish poetry."
Oh well, like you wouldn't understand Irish poetry since it's in Irish. Naturally, I go to an Irish speaking school, so yeah, it's kind of strange coming home and speaking English all the time again. But yeah, what was the name of the poem? God, Kultskaras. It means divorce. It's a very pleasant poem.
Oh. Sounds just like a bag of fun.
Oh man, Irish is fun. Love doing it.
So, are you? Is your first language Irish or?
I'm fluent in Irish and English, but I also speak French and Italian. But my primary language is English.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you just happen to go to an Irish-speaking school.
Yeah.
Right.
Where
Okay.
you get expelled if you speak English.
Really?
Oh, well.
Wow.
It's fun. It's fun.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite intense. Then.
Traditional
Well, you
Irish.
get extra, you get bonus marks in the Leaving Cert for doing it through Irish. It's usually done through English.
I really want
Except
to
for
hear
English, obviously.
the theme song of My Little Pony in Irish.
That might be one of your next music projects.
Yeah. I think you should get on
My
that now.
Little Pony in
we'll
Irish
pay
be
you.
Macapaleen Biog, which is kind of, that basically translates roughly to My Small, Small Horse.
Close enough.
It'll do. I'll take it.
Close enough. Yeah. Yeah, if you want any stupid Irish translations, I can do you some. If you get bored.
So you were talking a little bit about the inspiration before behind some of your comics, whether or not that's other comic strips or other. But you've also mentioned a lot of times in the description that it comes from different shows that you watch on TV or
Photo
internet
tape.
videos.
Yeah.
Was that a commonplace thing for you to kind of get inspired by TV shows? And if so, which ones?
Well, the whole aim of the Father Ted ones was, I know a load of Americans and Canadians and Australians who've never heard of this fantastic show that's severely underrated outside of Ireland and England and Denmark for some reason. But, yeah, it's just, I wanted to kind of promote it more. And a lot of people I know have started watching it now because of it. And I felt good about that. It's a great show.
What was
You
the
should
show
watch
called again? Sorry, I missed it.
it. Father Ted. It's about 3 Catholic Irish priests who live with their housewife. It wasn't actually aired here. The television station RTE wouldn't actually host it because they thought it'd be offensive to Catholics and whatnot.
I see.
So Channel 4 in England hosted it and got all the money for it. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's the same people who wrote the IT Crowd.
Ah,
and
I love
Black
the
Books.
IT Crowd.
Love
Oh,
the
really?
IT
Oh, yeah.
crew.
Black
Yeah,
Books.
so great. Black Books is brilliant.
Not so much appropriate.
Father Ted's not really either, but it's fantastic.
Did you ever find any trouble? We can't delve too far into this because obviously we're a PG show. But did you ever have any trouble with going into some of the how to put this, saucier comics or saucier pictures that you did? Did you ever get any backlash for that, or?
Like the Gyro
from
ones,
lots
for
of people.
example.
But the thing is, I don't work for the show, and it's the internet. I mean, you should be ready for that. So
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
a sick-minded individual outside of it, and that the stuff I upload is really, really, really watered down, compared to the usual conversations that I had in life. But you see, things I don't get offended by that kind of stuff, and I don't think other people should either. But some people get really, really ratty about it.
Yeah.
That's just them.
That Rainy Days comic, I don't think I've laughed that hard in quite a long time.
Rainy Days. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know the one. That was actually inspired by a blooper in the Friends blooper
Yeah.
reel.
Oh,
yeah?
nice.
Yeah.
So
it's
see, there we go.
like,
We get another source there.
they come from weird places. I could be watching something, I could be reading something, listening to something, or just out drinking or something, and I come up with something. It's strange. The worst thing is I have about 5 or 6 of them now stored in the notepad and the iPhone, and I can't work on them. It just sucks.
All right, because you don't have the time.
But oh well,
Yeah.
that's a teaser for the
I
future.
guess
Is there any character in
teaser for the
particular
future.
that you?
Say what?
what?
This is what happens when
Say
you
again.
record on 4 continents. By the way,
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite character to do in the comics? Maybe via expressions or just because you liked them in the show? Or
Honestly, it'd be the likes of Twilight or Pinkie Pie or any pony with the kind of curved eyelashes as opposed to the straight ones like Rainbow Dash and that, because I hate drawing them for some reason. With the curved ones, I can use the Eclipse tool and it saves me so much time. But the other
Straight
ones,
lines are so hard.
you can't. So that's why there's kind of been a lot of Twilight in the last few ones. There was tons of it. She was showing up all the time. So yeah, kind of just anyone with those eyelashes. Just it sounds like a really stupid reason, but that's it.
No, trust me. That's not a stupid reason. We get that all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I have kind of the opposite opinion because doing straight-ended eyelashes with vectors is a lot easier than doing curved.
I tried loads of different. Like I tried a magic wand at one stage, and just nothing would work.
I like the curves. The curves look pretty good.
And it's like a lot of times it'd be written for certain characters and just change it because I didn't like drawing them.
I think that's more common than a lot of people think.
I'd say so. Just a lot of people don't want to be honest.
It's also a similar thing when you think about it, like when people say like, "Oh, there must be so much thought behind this." You know, you're kind of saying that's not the case. It's just,
definitely not what
just
me,
kind of popped
no.
out of my head.
Yeah. Which I guess it means that inspiration comes everywhere, and yeah, you just roll with it.
Well, musically, I can be inspired a lot, but when it comes to drawing stuff, I kind of it's just drawing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, see? That's one of the things that I usually try to, I
Yeah.
don't know, spread around is that, like, you have to, like, work at art. You just have to keep doing it. And whereas if you're looking for the excuse, I need inspiration, it's like, nah, you're lazy.
Well, no, like, if I had to compose something that I'd listen to other artists and stuff, alright? But
Definitely.
art, I don't need it. I need music to actually do art.
Yep.
It's another thing.
Music helps a lot.
Oh, it helps so much.
Oh,
Distracts, but it helps.
a lot of the things that pop out of your head are wonderful, I'll have you know.
Yes.
Thank you.
As another one of these, my favorite comic series is Role Model. I loved the scene in My Little Pony. What was it? The Super Cider Squeezy 5000 episode? Super Speedy Spider Squeezy?
Super
whatever.
speedy cider squeedy.
Yeah,
Wow.
that episode name.
There we go, thank you.
That one.
That episode, when Rainbow Dash wants cider so bad, just eats the dirt. And then in this comic, you have Rainbow Dash eating dirt, and then you have Scootaloo just so happy to just like be copying her role model, just like, oh yeah, I'm eating dirt too.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, Rainbow Dash.
This is great.
Oh, something seriously wrong with this filly.
For like inspiring or aspiring comic artists, what do you have any advice or?
Don't do it. You might get
God.
popular.
Let's see. Let me think. Like, I think you shouldn't do it to please other people or to like just become big. You should just do it because you're either really bored, like I was, or you want to do it because it makes you happy. Like, you should just be doing it for the right reasons. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your time and being a bit of an ass.
Possibly the best advice I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give the generic. Oh, keep drawing.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. If an Irishman can do it, the whole world can. That's another thing, actually. If I can do it, anyone can do it. That's great advice.
That's a good point.
That's kind of like the advice that I would give. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a great example is that you do something you enjoy doing, and then you just keep doing it. And I mean, that would be my advice: is just keep
Well, it's
on
not
doing
even
it,
something
even
I
though that's
enjoy,
kind of
it's
like
just
the generic
something-
advice. But
Yeah. Something to pass the time.
art's a practice.
Okay. Well, seeing as
That's
nobody else
probably
has
all I
any
can-
questions, I'll say the obvious because I'm Australian. Can you ship me a keg of Guinness?
Do you know what you should do? You should, when I was in Berlin in August, they sell half-liter bottles of, what was it called? Pils Urquell or something it was called. I can't pronounce it because I don't speak German. 75 cents. I don't know what that is in dollars. It's like, dollars. It's like 90 cents or something like that. It's ridiculously cheap, and so was Jägermeister as well. €10 for a bottle, and I kind of just stashed it up.
It's good because
There's
I
loads of it in the
cannot
cupboard.
stand Guinness.
Oh, see, I love
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Send
sorry.
it to me.
You're in where are you? Germany? You can get whatever you want.
Austria,
Austria.
Germany, yeah.
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 Okay, well,
I was in Ireland.
All right.
that was my.
Well, I think that's everything that we have for you today. So
I knew alcohol would come up at some stage. Knew it.
It's Ireland.
yeah, you know how it goes. Anybody
well,
here
obviously,
who's
don't
from a
worry.
different country has to be made fun of at least
Oh, yeah.
once. I'm a prime example of being from a different country,
Yeah, you've such
and
a
every single time I say the word about, people get on my case.
You say it funny.
Says
and your
what?
It's one word.
Canadian accent.
No, I don't have an accent at all.
What word?
I have two
Vouch.
two prime examples that I don't have that much.
I don't have an accent. Good.
I don't have an accent anymore. God. Cork accent is difficult for anyone outside of Cork to comprehend. Like, I'd be speaking 90% slang that no one would get but me, and I'd be laughing to myself. It's fun.
I'll just have to forward this to my Irish friend and see if he can translate for me. It's from Ireland somewhere. I don't know exactly.
Somewhere.
That's just so specific.
I think
Very
it's from near
specific.
Dublin somewhere.
But I'm not using any slang at the moment.
He's from near
so
Dublin
I
somewhere.
think he'd be okay. So what?
Near Dublin.
Oh god. Yeah, Dublin.
Oh boy.
Dublin's fun.
All right, well, we need to wrap up the show now because we're going to go long. So
To wrap up.
thanks again for coming on. We just need to plug a couple of things here.
didn't
We've
actually
got.
speak
Do you want to do it, Piggy Dash?
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Go for it.
Alright.
Okay. Because I do it every week anyway. So we have a DeviantArt page where you can check out everything that we have featured on this week's episode. So everything by Veggie55. It's going to be a very, very boring folder
Every
this
You
week.
can send on all the money you wish.
Which is our DeviantArt page is cutieartcrusaders.deviantart.com. There's no hyphens between the words, just one word, Cutie Art Crusaders. We have an email account as well, which is cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com. That's the place to go if you have any questions for us, or if you have any art you want us to feature in any future episodes. Whether you know the theme or not, just send it through and let us know, and we'll have a look at it. Please don't be offended if we don't reply, because we don't often check the email a lot. Although we have been a bit better on it this week, but still.
No. Okay. Wait. We check the email. It's just hard to always give a response to every single person that comes in. I'm sure Veggie can vouch for that as well.
That's
It's
what I
not
mean, yeah.
always easy to respond to every single person.
But yeah. So if you are sending us any email through that email address, cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com, please be sure to include what you're sending us in the subject line. So if it's art, put art somewhere in the subject, or if it's questions, put questions somewhere in the subject, just so we know, so we get highlights of different colors and things, so we know which it is.
We've also got a Twitter. That's where you can go for kind of up-to-the-minute updates in case our stream goes wrong or anything else happens like that. If you
'Cause
want
that
to
doesn't
catch up with us on YouTube. And also, if you have any quick questions, then feel free to send them in, because I check that and I could probably answer them for you really quick. And we also have a Facebook that's run mostly by Flutter Guy. So if you really want to, then go like us on Facebook. All the information will be on the screen. So if you're worried about something spelled or anything like that, that'll be on the screen for you guys.
To kind of give guidance to people who want to send in art, we're going to do a minimalistic theme.
Yay.
So anything that is very minimalistic, maybe line art or other stuff that just, it's very minimally done, send it in. We'll take a look.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah?
All right, well, that's everything for this week. Thanks again for everybody watching. Thanks again for Veggie for coming on and rambling with us for an hour.
Yeah.
You were a great guest. We loved having you on here.
Ah, shucks. Stop it.
So modest. I'm actually going to be away next week. I'm moving into university residence, so I'm gonna be away. So these three fools will have to run the show for the next week. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I'm Rainbow Plasma.
I'm Burned 01.
I'm Flutterguy317.
I'm Pinky Dash.
And I'm a man from Ireland.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, bye.
It's not good. I knew we'd chuck in some Irish there at the end.